Hello, Roger.
Hello, Aaron.
Nice to see you on this exciting day.
This is a beautiful day. It's going to be an amazing podcast, I think.
This is quite brilliant.
This is, I think, going to be our biggest one yet.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of subs.
Lots of views.
Yeah.
Maybe some comments even. Some likes.
Yeah.
Hopefully no dislikes.
I think I told Farley about the podcast and he said he'd check it out. I don't know how he's going to look
I don't know
at
if he has a computer.
I don't think he does.
I think he has, but one time I went over and he said he has a computer.
Yeah.
His his grandson set it up.
Yeah.
And it was just a piece of paper scribbled to look like a computer.
Are you fetching to say that his grandson bought a computer using his grandbaby's money?
No, I think that...
And then he ran off?
No. I think that his computer... He just told his grandson to set up a computer, and then his grandson, not to confuse him, just put a piece of paper.
Don't you think that will confuse him more?
I mean, yeah, but he's 120 years old. He doesn't understand.
This is besides the point.
Of course.
So, everyone, listening on to the bloody CrumbleCast.
To the CrumbleCast, yeah.
Welcome back to the CrumbleCast, by the way. I'm Aaron.
I'm Rodger.
And today we're joined by...
I am Vincense.
It is
honour.
It's an honour to meet you.
Can I just say I'm a huge fan of your work. Germany, that was brilliant.
Germany has got to be top 10 greatest songs of all time.
That's an old one.
Toad and the Jocular Gang. Well, we're fans.
We're fans. We've been watching you since we were little.
I see.
We little guys.
So we were having a chat with Mr. Johnson, and he gave us the word that due to your contract, we can have a chat with you. So
you're from America, yes?
Yeah.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Well, hang on.
Okay, yeah.
Hang on, we got to tell them how we do things around here.
Okay.
So, this is the CrumbleCast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
we like to talk about film.
I've sent you an email with the AOL, and
I was surprised to get it from an AOL. I thought I was being scammed for a second.
No, I asked you, what's your top 5 movies? So we're going to get to that, but I'm sure by now you've guessed. We talk about movies. We're kind of movie gurus.
We're kind of film heads, cinema snobs even, film brains, nostalgic critics even, you could call us.
I got that impression.
Yeah.
We quite like the classics.
We don't faff around, okay? We talk about movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about films.
Yeah.
We say insightful stuff all the time.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I figure we start by saying Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's Orthodox Christmas today. Yeah, I'm a huge Orthodox Christian.
The Three Kings Day.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Three Kings Day?
I mean...
Do they have that over in America?
Well,
sorry, no, answer the question, yes.
I know who the Three Kings are, I just never heard of Three Kings Day.
Three Kings Day?
Alright, here's a question. What did they give the little baby Jesus?
Myrrh, gold, and frankincense.
Yeah, this one's got a good head.
Got a smart one, true.
That's how he made all those videos.
Yeah.
So, how was the flight from America to here?
Yeah.
Wasn't the worst. There was a fucking baby crying his eyes out in front of me. I was debating going to this, just going to the bathroom for the entire rest of the flight at one point.
Uncomfortable. To the loo.
Do you remember that one scene?
A bathroom means loo, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you speak English?
Yeah.
Because his English was quite good, and I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because you guys speak American over there, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, American English.
American, yeah.
Yeah. Different, similar, but...
Different, yeah.
We just generally call it American English.
Okay.
American, yeah.
American.
Reminds me of that one scene in The Office when what's his name? Gru, and is that woman he likes? They're on a plane.
Yeah.
He wants to have sex with her, and he puts
on a plane.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part of The Office.
He puts his foot in the toilet, and it comes out, and it's blue.
I have not seen The Office in quite a while, so...
Do you know...
Well, they made an American version over there, yeah?
Oh, well, yeah, maybe this is the British version. I wasn't aware it was that,
American version.
That,
it's interesting, they have about 20 seasons of the British Office over here.
Yeah,
really?
It's quite good. Robert De Niro,
Robert
Joe
De Niro,
Pesci.
Joe Pesci, Ricky Gervais.
Robert, those are American actors. Are they really
They
in
do a
the
lot of
British
things.
office?
They do a lot of
Because
films.
we treat them good. You know, we give them barley water, we give them black sausage.
I never knew that.
Here's another question. Have you ever had barley water?
I mean, I can understand what it is, I suppose, from
But
the
have you
name.
ever had it?
Have you
No.
had it?
No.
Really?
Here's another question. Has your grandma ever made you some mac and cheese?
No, my grandmother is Italian. Well, she was Italian. And,
Macaroni, that's Italian, yeah.
Yeah.
but
an
it's not
Italian
really...
word. Are you Italian?
Well,
I
Italian-American.
thought you say you're American.
So how do you speak English so well if you're Italian?
Yeah.
Well,
Are they
I'm Italian-American.
Are they teaching English over there in Italian now?
No, I speak English natively.
Is Italy becoming an American country?
No, but
States,
my
I guess you would say.
my ancestors,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my ancestors came from Italy to the United States. So
Right.
ancestrally I'm Italian, but I'm not actually, like, I don't live in Italy. I know Italian, but that's only because I learned it later on.
So, if you're Italian, have you ever had a think about how Mario is one of the most famous Italians that's ever existed?
I mean, I suppose it's a little odd that the most famous... I guess you could argue he probably is the most famous Italian, maybe besides, like, Julius Caesar, but even he wasn't really Italian. So...
Well, he's
Roman. His first name was Roman, yeah?
Well,
Roman
no,
guy.
his first name wasn't Roman. He was Roman. He lived in ancient
Right.
Rome.
Roman Julius Caesar.
No, his full name was Gaius Julius Caesar.
Guy, he's a guy. I know he's a guy.
Yeah.
No, it's spelled like Gaius.
I think this is a bit just a
The
language.
language barrier, I think.
And maybe maybe you pronounce it differently in the UK.
So,
I've never.
Later we're gonna get you some barley water. We're gonna get you some black sausage. Have you had black sausage?
I have not had a black sausage.
And it's Barking and Dagenham's greatest treat.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the neighbourhood? I know it's a bit rough. Yeah.
Bit rough around the edges, I suppose, but I've never seen that as a bad thing. I've been in New York many times, and there's many neighborhoods like this, and they're all very nice.
We know everybody here. We'll keep you safe.
Yeah.
We've lived here since we were
I
about.
didn't feel very unsafe or anything.
Did you meet Farley?
I have not had the pleasure of meeting anyone named Farley.
So he's 120 years old.
Oh my god.
He's,
that would mean he's the oldest person on the planet. Is that...
Well,
he was definitely born in 1800 and 98.
I think he said he was born in
1898 would be
1863 or
about
something.
127 years ago.
He was telling me how he met Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah.
Oliver
Robert E.
Cromwell
Lee.
was from the 1600s.
Well, same thing.
No, there's a gap there. There's
I think he
100
might have been
years.
friends with Winston Churchill, actually.
That's rather interesting.
Anyways.
Never
So later we can take
heard
you
of
down to the
anybody
pub.
living who still
Here's another
was friends
question.
with
What
Winston
did you think
Churchill.
about our flat? Because we showed you around before we started recording.
Did you meet Henry? I think we showed him Henry.
Who is Henry?
Chaz is in the room with you right now. Our dog Chaz, yeah.
Well, yeah. Chaz is nice.
And Henry the
Henry the cat, yeah.
The cat. Yes, I did see Henry.
Yeah.
He
I'm
was
a big fan.
He was very nice.
He quite likes Robert De Niro.
That's the 5th cat we've had in the past 5 months.
And
Oh my!
You want to know
what
something
happened
funny?
to the other
He
ones?
keeps bringing them in, and I'm letting them out because we can't have a cat in here.
Wait, so
Yeah.
is he a stray?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't actually even own it. He's just like
Well,
a cat
when
who
we
just
go down,
walked in one
we're
day.
going down to Joe's pub. Usually we go in the alleyway because that's where he keeps the lemons. So we like to squeeze lemons into our beer.
Yeah.
And there's usually cats out there. So sometimes when I'm feeling a
You
bit
can't
knackered,
take them home, mate. It's
yeah,
not.
but they're free.
You take
but
he
then-
takes the lemons home.
No, he takes the cats home.
Yeah.
Listen,
I
mate,
don't think you can do that either.
We
Well-
just can't. You bring a new cat every other week.
Yeah.
And I'm trying. Well, every month even, right? And there's shit everywhere.
Yeah. Well.
You never pick the gravel up
Yeah.
because I'm busy at Tesco's, so I can't
Yeah.
do that.
He doesn't clean there's no litter box.
No.
Well. over in
I
the
think if
UK,
you're gonna
usually
own
you
cats, you should
scoop up the
probably.
poop, right. And have you heard of It's a great time to talk about a movie.
Okay, yeah.
Have you heard of this movie called The Bucket List, starring Morgan Freeman, Joe Pesci, Jack Nicholson, Robert De Niro?
Dream, probably. I don't know.
Dream is in that one as well.
I have never heard of a movie called The Bucket List. I don't think
it's
Jack Nicholson hasn't been in a movie, and I believe like
What's an older film?
10 years, maybe.
Maybe they didn't get it over there. But with this movie...
and I don't think Dream ever acted in anything. He's a
Okay,
streamer.
Dream has been in a lot of movies.
Dream is
Maybe in... I've never
Accomplice.
heard
I
of him
mean,
being
Avengers, The Grinch.
in a movie. Dream was not in the...
Grinch.
Dream was not in the Avengers. What?
He was in The Shining with Jack Nicholson. That's how they know each other.
Dream was not born when The Shining was.
How do you know that?
Are you Dream?
No, but it's public knowledge that Dream was born in 1998, I believe.
What makes you say that?
About that?
Because there's an article of him giving an interview about that.
Because you're such a big Dream fan that you've read the article.
No, I'm just looking at it on my phone right now.
Well,
who is Dream's best friend?
I don't know.
I don't think. I don't know if there's a
about
language barrier or something.
Well, maybe we're not talking about the same person.
Yeah.
I don't know. He wears a mask. He wears a green sweatshirt.
He's sort of green.
We are talking
green
about
in
the
face.
same
Green.
person.
He's green around his
Do you
entire
know
body.
Jim Carrey? You know the Grinch.
You know Jim Carrey.
I do know Jim Carrey.
Okay, yeah.
So in this film, it's quite good. It's called The Grinch. Not sure if you heard of it, but he's green in the film. That's kind of like what Dream looks
Yeah,
like.
I know who Dream is. We are talking about the same Dream.
Listen, Dream has been in a lot of movies. We'll probably discuss this later as well.
Dream has not been in any movies.
Anyway, the point is that this movie, The Bucket List, right? What were you talking about?
So
Is this a real movie?
This is a real movie, yeah.
I can't find this
movie
anywhere.
We talk about as a real movie.
Jack Nicholson and
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. I was going to say Robert De Niro.
No,
Morgan Freeman are both hospital patients. Very sick. And they're like, oh, we're going to die. We're going to die.
Yeah.
And then it's like Jack Nicholson is making coffee with this golden machine crafted by Swiss immigrants.
It is this big machine. It's very interesting.
He's pulled up a photograph.
Can you?
Yeah, let
show
me get you one right here. Come on.
I'm interested. I've never. There's no article I can find on this. I can't find anything on the internet about this.
He makes this special. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. See?
It's quite good.
Coffee machine.
Royal coffee maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes
so
this
is
special...
that from the movie, or is
Yeah,
that...
no, that's from the movie.
That just looks like it's an article.
Well, have a listen. He makes this special kind of coffee that combines cat poop and coffee beans.
Yes,
it's
it's called Kopi Luwak coffee.
It sounds a bit naff,
It's a mathod.
but I trust you, it's quite good.
Jack Nicholson is like his favourite thing in the world.
I don't
Well, we
think
all like Jack Nicholson.
putting cat poop in anything is personally a very
But he seems
healthy
to drink
idea.
Look, show him that
Look
picture.
at this.
Yeah, see, he likes it.
So this movie came out in 2007.
I see.
Kopi Luwak coffee.
Well, let's take a step back.
Wait, real quick, because Morgan Freeman makes fun of him for drinking the cat poop coffee, and then Morgan Freeman drinks it and he thinks it's really delicious. And he wants to eat cat poop after that. It's on his bucket list.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, maybe I can make myself a couple pounds
No,
if
mate.
we sold the cat poop to Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
But
very
that's
good
besides
idea.
the point. We're
Maybe if you sold them.
we're here to talk about movies.
Talk about films, talk about movies, cinema.
We're film heads.
Yeah.
Actually, before we get into that, I also want to say Happy New Year. And also, actually, Vincense, tell us, do you have a favourite Christmas film?
Good question, Aaron.
Not a big Christmas film guy for the most part, but I suppose maybe my favorite would be Nightmare Before Christmas.
What's
Right.
that?
So that's the movie.
Stop.
Don't worry.
No, you.
So, Jack Nicholson is a skeleton. He's called
Right.
Jack Skeleton.
Jack Nicholson is not in that movie.
He's called Jack Skeleton.
Yeah.
Jack
And
Skellington,
he goes-
he's not in that movie.
And he really likes Christmas. And he's like,
Right.
I really like Christmas. But he lives in Thanksgivingsville.
No,
Right.
it's
And he-
Halloween
And he
Town.
wants to bring Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay, I don't
he
don't
wants to
think
bring
that you.
Thanksgiving to
I-
Halloween.
I-
to
I
Thanksgiving
don't-
Town.
Hang on a hoot.
Yeah.
I
Hang on a
don't.
hoot. I'm thinking to myself, methinks that there's probably a few regional differences.
Maybe.
Because
I have
over there,
never heard of
the
a.
American version, they get more American actors. For the English version, they probably
It's
got
a little
more
odd
English.
considering that Jack Nicholson is American, and
Well,
That's up to interpretation. I mean,
well, no, Jack Nicholson is absolutely American.
Can you stop farting, man?
Sorry.
Are you eating more mac and cheese?
No, I'll run out.
Your nana's giving you more. Oh, sorry, is it your grana who makes the mac
Farley
and
was
cheese?
teaching me how to make mooncakes the other day.
Farley does not know how to make anything good. All this food from a century ago. I saw him eating grains and wheat the other day. Like, without baking it, he's just eating wheat.
Like cereal, you mean?
That's-
No.
He's
It
just
was-
eating the heads of wheat.
Yes, it was a wheat stalk. He's taking
Yeah.
the seeds out and eating them.
Yeah.
That
Quite
feels.
good.
I would love to see that.
Well, his
Well,
teeth,
well-
his teeth are big and flat like a dinosaur's.
I
So he can, munch the leaves.
what did
easier.
he do to them?
He was born like that. That's how they were born back then.
I have never heard of anyone else born like that. He must have some sort of condition.
Well,
No.
hang
That's how they were
on a-
born back then. They
hang
used to
on
eat
a-
tree trunks and stuff
hang
back in
on a-
1800.
Hang on a hoot.
no.
That's why they have the appendix, We don't use it
Roger,
anymore much.
Roger.
But, yeah, sorry, Aaron,
So
go.
this Christmas film,
Yes.
who obviously you have Jack Nicholson. I bet who else is in
Who directed it, do you know?
John Candy,
I believe it was Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Burton.
It was
Jim-
a stop motion film,
Is
so
that
it was.
like-
It was.
Jim Halpert? Is that who you're talking about?
Is that
No,
like,
Tim Burton. He did a lot of movies with stop motion and like horror.
Is that like Billy Crystal?
No, he's not related to Billy Crystal.
Is he
at
like
all.
Wes Anderson or something?
I suppose a little, in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I
quite
guess
like
Wes Anderson made
Wesley
Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Anderson.
which is similar, I guess, in style to some
Yeah,
Tim Burton movies.
Wesley's a
I
big
heard of
friend of
that,
mine.
but a word about that. My cousin Andrew, he grew up like a normal bloke, and then one
Right.
day he found this thing called deviant art,
Yeah.
and one day he starts saying he's a furry. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, what in the bloomin' hell is a furry? And he
Right.
says, well, I want to be like an animal, like a squirrel. And I said,
Well,
yeah. So
Interesting.
this was at our family gathering, and
so does he want to turn into a squirrel?
I think
or-
so. Yeah, it was a bit naff.
Oh,
And
Chaz.
me grana was like, "You can't be." Well, let me do a voice. You can't be this squirrel. You.
Where is your grana from?
I think she's from. I think
Estonia, did you say?
no, Gloucester.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But what is it? She was like, "You're not squirrel. You're a human."
Okay.
And Andrew was like, "Mom, you can't tell me what to do." And so
Sorry, is Andrew your cousin or your uncle?
it's confusing.
Okay.
Is there some
So
sort of?
he's all knackered and he's gone a bit manky and he
Right.
goes off running and I haven't
Like
heard
the
from him
Pokemon,
in the
manky.
past
No, that means
5
like
years.
angry.
But when I see this Fox film on my TV,
Yeah.
I was
You were
They-
enamoured even.
it gave me the niggles. I'll be honest.
So, would you consider yourself a furry now? I guess.
No, sorry. Do you know what niggles are?
No. What are niggles?
Like it bothered me.
Oh, I see.
I was
Okay,
like,
I
what-
see.
What is this?
I thought that you meant it piqued your interest. I thought that's
No.
what you meant.
Have you had
No.
experience with them?
With who?
Furries?
I've heard that America
Furries,
has a large population of.
I had a friend whose mother saw one in the airport once.
right.
Strange.
That was about it.
Have you
Interesting.
ever gone hunting?
I've
Have
never
you ever taken the life out of an animal?
No, I've never. Sort of an odd way to ask it. I've
What's
never.
your opinion on fox hunting?
I suppose it's all right. I mean, As long as I guess you don't overhunt them and do an ecosystem, it's a good thing.
Yeah, but if you want to kill them, then you want to kill them, right? It doesn't really matter.
No, I mean, you can hunt some foxes and not destroy the entire ecosystem while doing it.
Anyways, going back to what was it, Billy Crystal's Nightmare Before Halloween?
No, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. You're close because Halloween is the holiday that Jack Skellington.
Right.
They're different towns essentially.
And Shigeru Miyamoto worked on this movie, yeah?
No, Shigeru Miyamoto is a developer at Nintendo, which is a Japanese gaming company.
Hang about. Are you
interesting.
having a laugh right now? Are you trying?
Are you telling Porkies?
Are you telling us?
What?
He means like, are you lying? Are you telling Porkies?
No, I'm not. I'm not lying in the slightest. He's a Japanese developer.
You was fixing to say that this is a Christmas movie, but you're saying now it's a Halloween movie.
Well, it's kind of both. The premise is
those holidays are so far apart.
The premise is they live in a world where there's different towns for each holiday.
So
major American holiday, at least. So there's like Valentine's Day,
Do they have,
and Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas, but we only see Halloween and Christmas really.
Do they have a Hanukkah town like with Jews?
They don't actually, which is honestly does raise an odd question because there are a lot of Jewish people in the United States.
Do they have Boxing Day town there?
No, we don't really celebrate Boxing Day.
Really?
I mentioned Boxing Day to my mother recently, and she said we don't do that here.
So you know what it is, though.
I do know what it is. I've heard of it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the tsunami that happened back in 2004.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was there.
I think I was.
You were there. Oh my god.
I was 15, I think.
Yeah, it just kind of washed over me, you know.
Wow. No injuries, nothing.
No.
That's.
Just drinking a big glass of barley water.
I.
So that's your favourite Christmas movie, that's interesting. You know, last time we were talking about our favourites. Mine has got to be Christmas with the Franks, I believe it's called.
Christmas with the Franks.
It makes it fresher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Christmas... You know Christmas with the Franks, don't you?
No,
It's with,
never seen that. It must be a British one.
Tim Horton.
I think
Jim
Varney
Horton
is in that.
Jim Varney, Jim from The Office as well.
No, yeah. Well,
Jim from the
Jim
British
Trumpet.
Office.
No, he's called Tim in the British Office.
Yeah, but do you know, have you heard of this film called Ernest? Ernest? Is that how you say in America?
Ernest?
What are
Yeah.
you talking about, mate? What is this again?
Jim, you know Jim Varney, like the little...
Not quite, I don't remember that.
You know, Ernest?
Hold on, let me look. I'm
Never.
Oh, yes, no. Okay, yes.
Show
Ernest.
him a photo.
This guy.
Oh, Ernest.
bloke.
Yeah, no, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
So it's called. Is it called Ernest because he's very earnest? You know.
Well, I don't know because I haven't seen it, but it's called Ernest, and he's called Ernest in the
It's
United
not
States.
Ernest.
No, Ernest.
But it's like the word earnest.
No,
right?
it's just spelled differently because we have a lot of
You're not telling
words in
Porky,
English
are you?
that's
Not telling Porky.
no. We
Okay.
spell words that sound the same differently sometimes.
So, I was fixing to ask you, what was it like when you got 100,000 subs on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, we were two of them.
Yeah.
I'll let you
Well,
know.
I'm happy to hear it was a big moment.
It's good. It's good.
Definitely it definitely made me feel accomplished in a sort of way, but also
Right.
kind of thankful. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
lot of people obviously who helps with that.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
We
yeah.
were quite,
Yeah, when we heard that and then your
rooting.
videos coming back, we were jumping with joy.
yeah, but I was disappointed to see some, I suppose, I heard through the grapevine, as they say in the Americas, that it was lost in the archives or the film
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
properly stored.
I
or-
deleted many of those videos a very long time ago.
Oh,
It's very disappointing.
yeah.
Because I love Germany. I love moving along.
I was excited.
I'm
to
surprised
see
you even remembered those. Those
I
were
mean, they're classics. Of course I remember them.
Classics.
You have to admire your own work, Vincense. I mean, they're really beautiful.
I
films.
don't really
Really
admire my own work.
wonderful.
I'll say
$1 billion in debt has got to be a personal favorite of mine.
that was certainly an era.
I mean, there's a British man inside of it, right?
Yeah, we love
My
English,
favourite character.
English people.
I get the feeling the British characters are usually your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we Brits.
Have you ever thought about moving to England?
I mean, I have people in my family who have moved to England.
Really?
Right.
My aunt once. My mother would love to move to England, probably. I don't think she ever will, but my aunt, who taught Shakespeare for a while,
she acted. She knew Shakespeare or something, or
she just
You said she knew Shakespeare.
Well, she knew the plays and the
from him.
Well, yeah. I mean, she studied them in college, and then she ended up teaching some of them a little bit.
I didn't know he was still around.
No, he's not.
You think Farley knew him?
Probably.
Okay, wait. Does he not know that Shakespeare has been dead since the 1600s?
Well, yeah, the 60s, yeah.
No, the 1600s, not the 60s.
A language.
I'm pretty sure.
This is not a line. No, one as in the year 16. I think it was I think he died in 1618. So 168.
No, but the Beatles did an interview with him.
The
Beatles never did an interview.
Wasn't he part of the Beatles at one point?
Shakespeare was never part of the Beatles.
Do you
I think he might have been the fifth Beatle.
Are you aware of the Beatles? John Lennon.
John Lennon.
John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, the other one,
George McCartney,
George Harrison.
Oh, George Harrison, George McCartney.
George Michael.
Come on, mate.
John Lennon.
No.
George Michael.
John Lennon.
Paul McCartney.
You don't know the Beatles? We're British.
How do you not know the Beatles?
Those are their names.
John Lennon.
John Lennon.
Joan McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Paul Lennon. Ringo Starr.
No, Paul McCartney, John Lennon.
Ringo.
George Harrison and Ringo Starr.
Harrison.
You're forgetting
Ringo Starr. I think you're mixing up
the
first
George
and last.
Michael, though.
George Michaels, yes.
Yeah.
George Michaels.
I quite like Ringo Starr's MS Paint art. I think that's the best thing he ever did. I mean, the Beatles. Who even cares about the Beatles?
I've yet to see Ringo Starr's MS Paint art.
Well,
we'll show you that. We have one of them framed. We'll show you that later.
We're getting back. This podcast is about film. We're
Mm-hmm.
good film heads around here.
We're going to get you... let's start the conversation.
So, I want to have a chat about... You sent me a fax.
Yeah.
That says your top 5 movies. I'm going to read them out to the audience. So we've got Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
The Godfather. Everything, Everywhere, All at There. Parasite. Dune 2.
Dune 2.
Dude, he's still learning some of the letters.
I see.
He's a bit of a pinhead, You got those over there, pinheads.
I mean, I suppose we generally call... I don't know what we really... define pinhead, I guess.
Well, it's a separate... It's really complicated. I'll tell you later.
Listen, all I can say is I'm a bit of a pinhead. Sometimes things don't go through my head. But luckily, the government is very kind to pinheads like me.
Pinheads can get a job now, actually.
Yeah.
They couldn't
CEO.
have...
Yeah.
He couldn't have a job before?
Listen, it complicated United Kingdom.
It's the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyways,
interesting.
So with this Godzilla -1, I was having to think to myself. So, are you aware of the general nature of the universe in reference to numbers?
Yeah.
So,
I think I know where you're going at too.
Society views bigger values as being...
I can...
Well, have a listen.
This is important.
I know how people generally perceive numbers.
Have a listen.
Yeah.
If I have $3 and you have $13, who is better?
Well, you can't really say if anyone's
you're better.
You have more
quid.
I just have more money, not...
You have more quid.
Have more quid.
Well, I have more money, but that doesn't
mean
better.
The point is, let's say Roger is a lollipop man.
Yeah.
Right. We're trying to
buy... Imagine I have a big hat that's shaped like a lollipop. I have a card.
We want to buy some lollies, right? And we go up to his lolly stand.
Yeah.
And I say, "Can I have a lolly?" and I've got $3, and then you say, "Can I have a
one
lolly?"
because one lollipop is $3.
You say, "Can I have a lolly?" and you'll say, "I've got $13."
You get 4 lollipops.
So who's better?
Well, I don't think anyone's better.
No,
It's
come on,
just-
think about it.
no,
Have a
but
think.
have a
You
think.
have
you
have
I
4.
have more.
You have
Yeah.
4
I
lollipops.
have
You
more,
have
but,
one.
that doesn't mean I'm
But
necessarily
you can
better.
buy more lollies.
And then you
I-
can
I
eat
can.
more lollies. Okay, think about it like this. Every lollipop is a different flavour from the other one. You're experiencing more diverse
You get to-
situations, experiences.
Exactly.
I guess, but
you're now more experienced
how
than
exactly
him.
does this relate
High
to
numerical values.
We're just trying to
are
establish
the
in your
key
mind
to eternal
because I guess
happiness.
they don't
Well,
teach
well,
this
those
in
are-
America, right?
Well, no, I mean,
All right. Well, listen.
Basically,
high
bigger numbers-
numerical values in money.
Bigger number is better,
Listen,
right?
let-
Avengers 7 is better than
I
Avengers
don't
1.
think that there's an Avengers 7.
They don't have it over there yet.
Listen.
Anyway,
Have a listen. Have a listen.
yeah.
So if you have Godzilla -1, right?
Mhm.
What's stopping you from saying that Godzilla, 0,
1, yeah.
or 3 or 47 is better than Godzilla -1? Nothing really.
Well, a lot. I mean, for one thing, it's the actual. For one thing, the naming Godzilla -1 is.
Yeah.
It's not based on any sort of value in the movie. It's
Well,
based on.
if you have Godzilla and then you
Right.
minus 1 from Godzilla, it's worse now, right? You've taken out 1.
No, the point of -1 in the title is essentially the premise of the movie is that Godzilla attacks Japan
Yeah.
earlier
That's an
than the original movie, when he attacks when Japan has largely recovered
Did
from
you
World War
know, Can I just button real quick? Did
Mhm.
you know about this Japan thing?
Like, he means he didn't know what Japan was.
II.
I did tell him about, 2 months ago.
He
didn't know what Japan was.
There's
No.
this place where they make all these animations, and they're sort of like,
Or- He didn't know about Japan.
No.
They are.
In fact, can we do this again? What is the first country that comes to mind when I say Asia?
I think I said Hindustan,
Yeah.
something like that.
That's a very old term for India. Where did he get that from?
Well, what about America? What's the first country that comes to mind?
Probably Maryland.
Not a country, it's a state.
Okay. The point is, geography, it's not very well.
I see,
He
yeah.
just learned about Japan,
But
but
the point is, why is here's my confusion, right? You've
Yeah.
got a list of top 5,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that number 1 is the objectively best film on the list.
Yeah, but it's
But if you have
just
something that says -1,
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
that
just
make
be-
it your number
yeah, wouldn't that
0
cancel
pick?
it out? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
well,
point.
no, but just because the reason it's called -1 is because it's referring to how Japan is
Right.
during the movie.
Right, but if you're
It's not. It's not.
subtracting-
that- it's
Japan is like 1 year
no, Japan
behind
is.
everything else.
but
or-
you're-
No, Japan is. It's sort of.
Hang on.
is
Japan
minus
loses.
1.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
well,
hang on,
Japan sort
hang
of
on.
loses everything in World War II,
Right.
and they're at 0, and then they get worse somehow with -1.
Sorry, we had a bit of a commercial break.
Just a quick
So, listen, have a listen, right?
Yeah, but as I was
No,
saying,
hang on, hang on. You have Godzilla -1, right? -1.
Yeah.
And I know me maths, right?
Mhm.
Number 1 on the list, -1.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Wait, hang on! That equals 0. So does that mean Godzilla, is that like a little trick?
No, you don't-
Like
you-
you were
no, no.
saying, Godzilla is actually
No. You
number
don't.
0.
number 0.
The -1 in the title is based on the fact that Japan goes from 0 after World War II because it's heavily damaged
Okay.
by the war
Right.
to
So,
almost -1 because Godzilla attacks and
Minus-
wreaks a
Okay,
lot
no,
of
I get
devastation.
it. If it's Godzilla -1, there's no Godzilla in the film, right? It's just
No,
Japan.
Godzilla is a major portion of the film.
But it's
that's the point.
-1, so
But-
that means there's one less
No,
Godzilla.
-1 does not have any impact on the quality. It doesn't have any impact on the list. It is solely about describing Japan's status during the
All
movie.
right.
Don't you think that it's a bit confusing to say that your movie is worse than anything that's
Well,
like
no, you're not
number
saying
1?
it's worse.
Do you know Mario?
Most people.
Okay, alright, let's get on this topic.
Hang on, hang on. Have a listen. Have a
Okay,
listen.
alright, fine.
Do you know Mario?
I do know Mario.
You know how he says, "I'm a number 1." You know how he says that? He says that because he's objectively
but
his qualities make him better than everyone around.
Well,
him.
here's an interesting point.
Godzilla
When you have a list of
minus
things,
one,
right, number 1 is the best.
Yeah.
If you have -1, that's at 0 now.
Yeah.
That makes it even better.
How's that?
Because on the list, it's the opposite, right?
Zero
Number
is
1
less
is the
than
best.
1.
No, but 0 is the best. Sorry, 1 is the best, and 5 is worse than 1 on the list, right?
Right.
So if you're at 0, that's less than 1. That means it's even greater. So what's your real number 1 movie if Godzilla
it is my number 1 movie. The
you know what? Language barrier.
The -1 in the title
All
has
right,
no bearing on
It's okay.
anything
You know what?
about
I'm sorry.
movies
Let's-
ranking or placement anywhere else.
Wait, hold on.
Are you having a laugh about me?
Oh, come on. Vincense, are you making fun of him? We love you, mate.
No, I'm not making fun
Not
of
very
him.
kind.
That's strange. Anyway, what is so good about this movie that's your number 1 or number 0
Who
movie?
is the starring, thing?
Yeah,
The
is
starring
it,
actor? I have to
Is
look
it
up.
Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci?
You seem to only know those actors.
Is it
But they're the only
Mar-
actors in the movie.
Marlon?
No. Have you ever seen the movie?
I've seen every movie and they're the only actors I've ever seen.
Marlon Brando.
You've not seen every movie.
Maybe Jack Nicholson.
I don't
Is
think that
Pedro
you've seen Godzilla
Pascal
minus
in
one.
it?
Yeah, Pedro Rascal.
No, Pedro Pascal
Do you
is
think
not.
he's a real rascal?
I think so.
Godzilla
And then
minus.
they said Pascal because they thought it was his first name. That's how he got that last name.
Godzilla -1 is it. The main star of the movie is
Marlon Brando.
Ryonosuke Kamiki.
Sorry, can you... Was that English?
No, it's Japanese.
no, he's a Japanese actor.
Japanese,
The
yeah.
movie is in Japanese. It's translated.
How do you
into
understand it then?
Well, there's subtitles. It's translated into English at the bottom.
What are those?
He understands Japanese.
Really?
That's amazing.
Wait,
I don't understand Japanese. There's
Can
just
you-
English. There's English at the bottom.
hang on. Can you read that name out again?
Ryonosuke Kamiki.
Can you read it, really slowly? Really slow.
Ryonosuke Kamiki.
No, even slower.
Ryonosuke Kamiki.
Even slower.
Ryonosuke.
That's fast.
That's the
man.
same speed.
I'm
slower.
talking do you know are you familiar with the M&Ms?
The M&Ms.
Yeah, a little hard shell, chocolate inside, sexy green.
Hard shell, but you're gross in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
I am aware of them. Yeah.
So you know that one bit when they're walking all together, and then one of them as a go up, and he slips.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he falls to the ground.
He wants you to say it really slowly.
Can you say it at that speed so I can understand?
I mean, do you want to read it?
You give it to me. I'll take a read.
Here you go.
Rai Uno Osuke
Uno Osuke.
Kamiki.
Kamiki.
Yeah,
Ryan Kamiki. That's what I got from that.
Yeah,
No,
Ryan
no, his
Camel is his name.
No, his name's not Ryan Camel.
Ryan Kamek.
Like the cigarette.
Yeah, Joe Camel.
No,
yeah.
his name is not that. Okay, perhaps we should
Joe
move
Camel
on.
is his name.
Maybe we should move on to a
Oh wait,
different.
why is the movie so good?
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Well, it's very well shot. The visual effect. It won the Oscar for visual
Right.
effects.
Alright.
It was very well done in that regard.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick has been dead for quite a while. He had no part in that movie.
He's not dead. Okay, continue.
You keep going.
Yeah, it had really good visual effects, and I mean the other good thing is usually Godzilla movies tend to focus ever since 1954 when they released the first one.
Yeah.
In that movie, they did focus on Godzilla as sort of a metaphor for nuclear destruction.
All right.
But in all the succeeding movies, everyone after that, they sort of changed that out for focusing on Godzilla as sort of like a spectacle, which is, it has its own merits, but definitely, I mean, in this movie, they changed it to sort of go back to that, and they just generally,
I'm sorry, continue.
they just generally,
What's wrong, mate? Keep going.
They just generally.
Are you having a laugh about me? Again?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right.
They just.
You know, in the UK, it's quite normal to do that.
I did not.
It's called juggling your water.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
In
Anyway.
the UK,
throat
a
juggling.
lot of the pipes are made out of lead.
Oh, that's very unsafe.
But
You
no,
should
no,
probably.
it's okay.
It's very
It's
tasty.
okay.
You should probably get that.
No,
if the
no,
lead
it's okay.
seeps into the
It's
water,
okay.
you could.
No, it tastes great.
okay.
It
It's
tastes
okay.
amazing.
It's
No, listen,
incredibly toxic if that
Vincent,
seeps in.
Listen. If you juggle it though,
If you juggle it,
it'll evaporate in your mouth. So it's
I-
alright.
Am questionable
same-
on
if-
whether that works.
if asbestos gets on anything, if you just give it a good old shake, it's gone.
Yeah.
No, no.
Right. Well, let's.
So that sounds interesting. We're gonna have to, watch
let's-
that movie sometime.
I thought you said you've watched every movie.
I haven't watched every movie. We've just watched most movies, and most of them have Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci.
Okay, well,
There's
this one will
10
certainly.
actors.
This one will certainly be interesting for you because it has no actors that you've ever heard of.
All right.
Does it have
Find that hard to believe.
John Candy?
Oh, surely it must have John Candy.
No, John Candy is not in this movie.
What about
Billy Crystal?
Billy Crystal is not in this movie.
What about Robbie Patsman or whatever his name is?
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
No, he is not in this movie.
He's British.
Yeah.
He is.
What
Is
about
he?
Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood is 90 years old and is not in this movie.
What's that got? What's that got to do with anything?
Well, he has no real role, and that would fit in the movie. I mean, he's not in it.
Yeah.
He could be Japanese. I could see him as Japanese.
No, he's not Japanese. Oh wow, Robert Pattinson is actually British. I did not know that.
I know every British man. I'd
Yeah.
met him before, Robert Pattinson.
You have?
Yeah.
Really?
But he came down to Joe's pub one day.
Oh wow, I didn't know
And
he
you
lived
know-
in this area.
Nobody knew. He doesn't live there. He has a family here.
Ah, okay.
And nobody knew it was him besides me, right? So I slide in. I'm like, Robert, I'm a big fan of your movies.
Uh-huh.
And he says, thank you, right? We have a few drinks, a few glasses of barley water. It turns out that's his favourite drink.
Oh wow.
And we make it the best here versus anywhere, right?
If you go to Cornwall, they're going to tell you the same thing. Don't fucking listen to them.
I have the feeling they're going to tell me that
They're
anywhere I
full
go.
of fumbleberries, and
They
you
are.
don't want to have that.
So we go back to the flat. You're not here. You were somewhere. I think you're at...
Marley's.
No, you weren't at Farley's because...
Was I talking to Fred Lewis?
No, not Fred Lewis.
Chucky Williams?
No, Chucky Williams was dead at this point, I think.
Oh,
No, not
Chucky
Chucky
Williams
Williams.
was a
I'm
kid.
sorry, yes. What?
Chucky Williams is Fred Lewis's son.
That's right, I'm sorry.
Are you thinking of Little Willie's father?
I'm thinking of Little Willie's father,
that
yes.
rolled over in the Reliant Robin?
No. You were with
Mark.
you were with Clover at this point. Clover.
Clover.
Yeah, Clover.
Dude, I
Clover.
don't remember this Clover.
Clover. His real name is Grover.
Okay, yeah.
But he picked the four-leaf.
Grovey.
Yeah, but he picked the four-leaf clover a few years ago, and everybody calls him Clover now.
Really?
Yeah. Really? You haven't heard of that?
No.
Okay, you were at Clover's, right? I think you guys were shearing sheep or something strange like that.
Yeah. What had happened was I had seen this great, it's sort of an indie film.
Yeah.
You might, I think it's quite popular in the Americas. It's called Shaun the Sheep. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Shaun the Sheep, I have heard of it.
It's
I've never
directed
seen
by,
it.
I think it was.
I don't believe it's indie. I think it was just a stop
No,
motion
it's an
studio.
indie film. I believe it was directed by.
Who? Not Scorsese, Scarlett Johansson.
Shaun the Sheep is actually a TV show.
No, it was a film.
They made a film of it a
And
few years
it
ago.
was directed by, I think, a bloke called Aaron Mann. And it was quite good.
No, it was directed by Richard Starzak and Mark Burton.
That's a fake name. You made that
Yeah.
up.
No,
Anyway.
I just looked it up.
Wait, so...
No.
Oh, yeah, no. What were you... I remember. You were trying to make a Shaun
hang
the
on,
Sheep.
hang about. This Aaron Mann bloke, you remember Snowman Sundays?
Yeah.
Same guy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
He
amazing.
made up Snowman Sundays. So I just thought that was... Continue your story.
Oh yeah, so he's with Clover, and Robert Pattinson. He comes back, and I'm like, let's have a bash here, and so he's over for a bit. We're drinking, again. We're playing Mario Kart for the
You played Mario Kart with Robert Pattinson.
yeah, on the GameCube,
Quite like that.
and
Wow.
we're playing for a few hours,
I would kill to see that.
and then we go and
Was
we
he good?
he was very good, right? We go to change characters. He really wants to be Toad, but I picked Toad before he did. And so I go, no, I'm Toad. And then he freaks out at me. He rips my TV off the wall.
Really?
Oh my
and
God.
broke it. Do you remember that? When our TV was broken.
I do remember that, but I thought you said that like a bull got in and it
A bull?
Yeah.
You told him a bull got into your apartment.
No, he's confusing me with somebody else.
I think you were a little. I think you were a little knackered. I think
Maybe.
you had a bit to drink.
But he broke my TV, and now I go around. I tell me mum, Robert Pattinson broke me TV. She doesn't believe me.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty hard to believe story. Wow.
But it really happened. I'm telling you, man.
I mean, I don't see any TV in here, so I know. I mean,
Yeah. But he came back another time, and I just didn't want to talk to him, right? And then he come up to me. He's like, "Oh, Roger, how you going?" And I'm just like, "I'm good."
Did he
Robert."
apologize?
No, right?
Wow.
I'm like, "Oh, I'm okay, Robert. How are you?" And he's like, "Okay." And you know, I'm trying to talk with me mates, and he won't leave me alone. He's really clingy. Well, you think he's a big actor, he knows so many people, but he really liked me for some reason. And he said, you know, I'll lick your bumhole if we can go up and play Mario Kart again. And I said, Robert Pattinson, no, I'm okay, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Then he left after that. You remember that? You were there.
A different Robert Pattinson.
No, he had the big square jaw, the big, you know, poofy hair.
Let's
Yeah, let's have a look at your favourite movies.
Yeah.
So
you said
said that The Godfather, a classic, ranked above Everything Everywhere All at Once. So what makes The Godfather better than All the Places, Everything, and All the Things?
hang on, because I feel like this is sort of a more obscure movie. I just want to clarify to the audience: this is a Martin Scorsese film with Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson is not in The Godfather.
Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise.
Harrison Ford and Tom Cruise are not in The Godfather.
Eddie Murphy, Joe Pesci.
Eddie
Wait,
Murphy
what movie are you
and Joe
talking
Pesci
about?
are neither of them are in
Yeah,
The
The Godfather. Yeah, it's quite an indie film.
It's not an indie film at all. It's one of the most popular films in the world.
Well, are you meaning to say over in the Americas as opposed to the United Kingdom? Are you familiar?
I know where the United Kingdom is, yes.
Like, you know, have you heard of this film called Fireman Sam?
No, I have.
Exactly,
I have
but
not.
it's a
Do you have, Postman Pat?
I've heard the name, never heard
Really?
it.
Exactly. It's quite. If you walk down the street and talk to Chucky Williams, it'll be like, I love Postman Pat.
Yeah, Chucky Williams, he dresses as Postman Pat.
Yeah,
all the time.
Interesting. But I mean, yeah, The Godfather is, at least in the United States, one of the most popular.
The United States is popular.
Over
in here.
in the UK, we sometimes call it Old Blighty. You know, it's sort of an only film heads like us, like real film, like real. They call us real brain sometimes. Like we have, film reels going through our skull.
Just constantly. I mean, I see the world like I'm a camera.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
I think about what music would play in the background.
Did you know Marlon Brando when he went to film that movie, he was he had lost all his hair.
Really? Are you telling a porky?
No.
That feels like a lie. I've
they
never
had the
heard
glue, Martin Scorsese that clipped his hairs off his head, and then took glue and smeared it all over Marlon Brando's head, and they stuck it on, and it worked.
Can you look that up? Did that happen?
I trust him. He's my mate. Why would he lie to me? He said he's not telling porkies, so...
I don't tell porkies.
I don't know if that's true. I've never heard that before.
So what makes The Godfather better than Everything, All the Places, and the Time?
So you've seen The Godfather?
Yeah.
Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I think I saw that. I think there was there a dog in that movie?
I don't believe there was a
Is
dog
this
that
the movie?
really mattered.
Wait, I know the movie, right? It's a man. He's really rich. And he gets stuck in Afghanistan.
No, this is.
And he has to
build
build a suit. He has to build a suit made of iron.
You're thinking of Iron Man. That's a different movie.
I'm thinking of Iron Man.
I was thinking more like there's a dog.
There's
in a small town.
Right.
And there's two elemental guys. One's red and one is blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, mate. You're thinking of Dougal.
Oh.
That's your favorite movie. How do you not know? No. You know what? The dog is right?
No. Okay, so no.
There's a dog, and he gets to play basketball.
Well, you haven't seen the movie. I have seen the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Is it a film where there's sort of these kids and they're going to a high school?
No, it's
and they all have superpowers.
And it's really high in the sky.
That is Sky High. That is I
Well,
believe,
I know
a made-for-TV
it's
movie.
Sky High.
No, the name of the movie is Sky High.
Are you having a laugh?
No, the name of the movie is Sky
Are you
High.
sure it's not the movie where the dog plays basketball?
No, that's Air Bud.
Okay.
Similar sort of genre.
Bloody hell.
Mate, you've got to stop with this chair.
This happens sometimes. The chair... Well, if the chair's having a laugh with us.
You're right,
see.
Chaz. I'm sorry, Chaz. Alright, so describe this movie to us.
So...
Who's, like, the leading actor?
The leading actress is,
Robert De Niro.
No. No.
Morgan Freeman.
Draw any actor that you think is in this movie is not in this movie.
Janet
Really?
Jackson.
That's surprising.
Janet Jackson is not in this movie.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson is not in this movie.
Jimmy Donaldson.
So it's
Tom
the
Holland.
star is Michelle Yeoh. She's a Chinese actress.
Sorry, say it again?
Michelle Yeoh.
Yo.
Yeah, I mean
Like-
it's,
Oh, like yippity yo.
Yeah, like...
yeah, and well, it's spelled
you
Y-E-O-H.
Like, black people in the United States, they say, yo...
I mean,
Is
it's
that what you're talking about?
Yeah, is that
No,
what you're having a laugh about?
no, it's generally a lot of people say yo. It kind of
Mate, your chair.
It's alright, I'll fix it later.
Alright, yeah.
Farley will help me.
Christ, that...
Yeah,
You're gonna
so-
break his back.
But he's fine.
Oh,
He drinks
fine.
barley water.
That's true.
it's the movie is Michelle Yeoh is the star of the movie, and then there's a Chinese American actress named Evelyn Wang.
Oh, Aquafina.
No, not Aquafina.
I think I've heard of her. She played a seagull in, like, The Little Mermaid.
No.
Yeah.
Aquafina is no, that is not Aquafina.
So, what was...
I made that
like,
mistake once. It's not Aquafina.
I see.
Who is, like, the director? George Clooney? John
No.
Candy?
George Clooney.
Stanley Kubrick?
George Clooney.
George Goldblum.
No, George Clooney never directed.
Daniel
Any-
Ocean.
Jared Leto?
No, it was produced by Daniel Kwan. It was directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Shiner.
Was
The two Daniels.
And
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
What studio was
Yeah,
it?
they actually
Like,
are just called the Daniels.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it, like...
Is it like Marvel?
No,
Was it comedy?
although Anthony and Joe Russo, who did direct, I believe, most of the Avengers movies, are the ones who produced it, which is interesting. I did not know
yeah.
that.
Sorry,
but-
did you say... I'm sorry, what did you just say?
But yeah, what did you say?
Anthony and Joe Russo, the people who directed most of the Avengers movies, are.
No.
I think you have...
You're thinking of the wrong person. No, Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson acted in
No,
the
she directed
No.
almost
Scar-
every Marvel movie.
No.
She did Iron Man.
No,
Iron
the
Man.
Russo brothers
The
directed.
big-
The only one that comes to mind is Chinese Hulk. She didn't do that one.
Chinese Hulk is that a
Yeah,
that's
Chinese
not a real
Hulk.
movie.
No, he's big in his red and he has the Chinese star on his
no,
chest.
No,
That's not
it's
it.
regular Hulk, but it's directed by a Chinese bloke. But there is a red Hulk who's like a communist.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna
no.
think about
There's
that.
Anyway,
the
so
Chinese
sorry.
Hulk is not a real movie.
Continue about this movie.
So yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's basically about a family who are Chinese immigrants to the United States,
Right.
and the mother.
Alright, so why is it better than the God, or worse than the God?
Are they?
Okay, well, I think it's rather rude that you didn't let me finish.
Well, I don't really care.
How were they affected
All right.
by the
Well,
1892
I don't exactly see why.
Chinese
If you don't
exclusion?
really care, why exactly should I be coming
Sorry,
out
mate.
here?
It was nothing.
Flying out here
It
to.
was nothing personal. I just.
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
We
I'm sorry.
We get a bit knackered sometimes. Too much barley water. Did you know barley water is as alcoholic as a bottle of red wine?
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. So why is everything all the time and the places
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
worse than The Godfather? What makes The Godfather better?
Well, it's not necessarily worse, but it's just
Well,
The Godfather.
we've been over
ranked,
this.
You ranked it.
Yeah.
If
I
it
was
has-
told to rank it. They're both very good movies, but I suppose what
But
puts
one
The
is
Godfather...
much worse than the other, right? 'Cause it's lower.
No.
We've been over this, right?
Just because okay, maybe you have an understanding that's different, but the way I understood it when I was giving you this list was that just because a movie is ranked higher, these are top 5 movies. These are 5 of my favorite movies. They're all still very good. Every single one of them is very good.
I think there's a bit of confusion. So I think I know through a film how I can explain what we're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the character Lightning McQueenie?
Lightning
it's
McQueen.
This film called
Cars?
Automobiles.
No, Cars.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
You were thinking of Cars.
So
Motoring around
in
even.
this film, it's about this car guy who wants to win a race.
No, I've seen Cars.
Well, let me
I've
just
seen...
for the audience because it's sort of more obscure.
It's not obscure at all. Cars is one of the most popular Pixar
maybe
movies.
in America, but in England, we're real heads.
If
and
Farley listens to this, he's gonna be like, "Hey, what cars are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I have a feeling Farley doesn't know that many movies, to be
Have a
quite
listen.
honest.
Have a listen.
Right.
So Lightning McQueenie is trying to win the Piston Cup, right? It's this big race, and if he doesn't win, he's going to be crushed. You know when cars are too old?
No, he's not going to be crushed.
You know, they turn into cubes and you can eat them.
Yes.
You can't eat them.
Have a listen. Have a listen.
Anything.
So in the Piston Cup, there are 3 places. If you win 1, you are good. If you win 2, you're okay, and if you win 3, you
You're
get
rubbish.
crushed.
Yeah.
So
No, that's
kind of
not
what we're
no
getting
that
at.
no. It's just it's a race.
Okay, so sorry. We're
It's-
getting
it-
off topic. I
No,
apologize.
but the point is,
No,
you know,
Aaron, it's
number
okay.
1
I
is
think
gold.
I don't know if we're gonna get through to him. I really don't.
No, but you have to understand that's not. I understand that's maybe how you interpreted that list, but the way I ranked them was that they are all very good. They're not one of them is not much worse than
But
the
you
other.
have to say that number 1 is better than number 2.
Yes, but not necessarily by a huge amount.
Right, but-
how about this? What would you say was your favourite scene in Everything and
Everywhere All at Once?
And
Well, there's a scene where the character Michelle Yeoh plays is talking with her daughter, who's played by Evelyn Wong.
Aquafina.
Evelyn Wong, and Evelyn Wong, and she well, Evelyn Wang, I suppose, is the American way to pronounce it.
Right.
And basically, it's the context is that the daughter doesn't feel very acknowledged by her mother.
I see.
And that she is sort of the mother is not really doesn't like love her as much. It's a very emotionally charged film, but essentially they have an earnest sort of a discussion. I mean, it's a very tearful like scene. They earnest is in the adjective sense.
But not like the movie.
Not like the
it's
movie.
the same word.
Giovanni is in this.
Giovanni?
Jim Varney.
Jim Varney is not in this movie.
No, Ernest is like,
buddy.
I know who Ernest. I know what Ernest
noises.
is. He's not in this movie.
Right. Well, I mean that sounds quite good. You say it's like a Chinese film?
No, it's just the actors are Chinese.
Would you say like Jackie Chan? If
Jackie Chan is not in this movie.
Have you seen Jackie Chan Adventures, actually?
I have not. Though, did you know? I have a very interesting fact about this. Osama bin Laden, the person who hit the Twin Towers with planes.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he
What are
directed
those?
it. Well, I mean, you said you were 15 in
Do you mean
when you were.
President Osama? Barack Obama?
No, Barack Obama, not Osama.
What
President.
are the Twin Towers?
They were big buildings in New York City that were.
What, they got demolished or something? Or
No, they got they were hit in a terrorist attack where terrorists flew planes into the buildings and they ended up collapsing because
some sort of American issue? Or
well, I suppose terrorist
Are you
attacks happen all over the
saying
world,
the
but
president meaningfully
no.
shot
Well,
his
some
own
people
building?
do think that
So
the
what, like
president
the
at
glass-
the time George Bush did it,
so they have to
but
like replace the windows or something, or what?
no, the buildings collapsed. About 3,000 people died.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
But anyway, the person
of
who
like-
committed those attacks
That kind of
organized
makes me
them.
feel bad inside.
yeah.
the person who organized those attacks, he actually had Jackie Chan Adventures on a hard drive that they found in his compound when they eventually killed him in 2011.
Did he tell you?
No, but they were found on his hard
I think
drive.
he's been to Joe's pub before.
Really?
Yeah, Joe was telling me about it.
Osama bin Laden, the international
Barack
terrorist, has
Osama.
been to Joe's
I
pub.
think Barack Osama came down one time.
No, Barack Obama is the
No,
president.
because you know that big wall, and he has all the
Yeah, the picture
Joe,
like Joe
of the
Pesci,
famous people. Yeah, that's come.
Morgan Freeman.
There's a picture of a man, darker skin, wearing a head wrap, big beard, next to Joe.
Okay, but that isn't necessarily Osama bin Laden.
No, it is.
I don't know if
But
that's.
let's
I
be
would have
honest.
to see the picture to see if that's Osama bin Laden.
Let's be honest. I mean, who's coming around to Joe's pub that looks like that? I mean, it's got to be Barack Osama.
I'm sure it could. If anyone, I think it would be less likely for it to be Osama bin Laden, considering he went into hiding for quite a while after.
All right,
he-
I'm sorry. Right,
Well,
getting off topic.
Farley sleeps under a stool at Joe's. And,
He does, yeah.
The coppers haven't found him yet.
That's
Well, Joe lets him
interesting.
do that.
Well, yeah.
all right. I suppose we should go to the next two on the
Well,
list.
no. Why is The Godfather better?
Well, The Godfather is a classic. I mean,
Marlon
Everything Everywhere
Brando.
All at Once is an amazing movie, but ultimately, The Godfather is definitely a classic. I mean, there's a reason it's considered, at least in the United States, one of the best movies that's ever been made.
Do you think Marlon Brando knew what he was getting into when he started filming?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure probably to prepare for the movie, he read the original novel about The Godfather that was written.
A novel?
Yeah, it was. The Godfather was adapted from a novel written by
Kind
Mario.
of like Dougal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen Dougal. I can't testify to that.
British
Seen
film.
Dougal.
I'll bet you £1 million.
And Martin Scorsese's in that. Jimmy Fallon.
on the
None of
plane
those
home.
people are in Dougal.
Jimmy Fallon is in Dougal.
You've never seen it though.
Yes, but I
How
think
can
I
you
would
say
know
that?
if Jimmy Fallon was in Dougal.
No, Jimmy Fallon was in Dougal. So was Scarlett Johansson and
Marlon
That's
Brando.
certainly
famous American Shaquille O'Neal. as
that's
well.
that's interesting. I'll have to look that up later.
But I was
Wacky
going to say,
Shacky.
on the plane, I'll bet you can click on one of those iPads they have.
One of the screens, yeah.
You can have a laugh and listen to Dougal.
Yeah.
Maybe I can find it, but yeah, I mean, The Godfather is just it's a very good. I think it ekes out over Everything Everywhere All at Once came out only 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a very good movie in my opinion. But The Godfather is unquestionably one of the most amazing movies that's ever been made. I was considering actually even putting it at number 1 over Godzilla -1, but
Okay.
I am a very big Godzilla fan, so.
Godzilla head even.
Do you?
So as an American, you think that the institution is better than the new stuff, yeah? Which leads to your ranking of this film.
Well, not the institution. It's just that The Godfather has a lot of merit in being one of the most lauded movies ever.
Do you endorse gang violence?
What?
Do you endorse gang violence?
You're not going to answer that, mate.
I'm sorry.
Well, think about this.
How is an endorsement of gang violence
think.
related
Well,
to
in
film?
America, there's gang violence, yeah?
There's
What?
gang violence in the
Lots of-
UK
And
too.
you're there.
Well, in the UK,
Yes,
we
but
have
I-
knives.
Yeah, we
Over
don't have
there
guns.
in
I've never seen a
the
gun.
United
I don't know what they
States,
look like.
I am 100% sure you have guns in the United Kingdom. I saw a police officer carrying a gun earlier while I was walking.
Yeah, but a bloke like me or you couldn't go out and get a gun.
I'm sure you could.
Well, our listen, all right. With this film, right, you've got Joe Pesci with a gun.
Robert
You're
De Niro
talking about
with a gun.
Goodfellas. That's a
Same thing.
no. Goodfellas is a very different movie. Another very good movie.
Marlon
Robert-
Brando has a gun.
Robert Pando. Okay, maybe we should move on.
Well,
to...
Marlon Brando's scene, he's like, and he has a gun.
Marlon Brando doesn't
And-
really ever have a gun during the
And
movie.
he's at his wedding or something like that.
No.
Something
He's
about
not at his wedding.
Coca-Cola.
He's at his daughter's wedding.
Did
Right.
you notice they were all drinking Coca-Cola?
I did not. I will have to see that the next time I watch it,
Right.
I suppose.
I watched Film Empire's video on it. I quite like
String
it.
Empire.
String
Film
Empire.
Empire, sorry.
So let's go to your next one. You know what? Let's actually step away from the list for a second. What is your favorite Marvel film?
I'm not a huge Marvel
If
guy,
you-
to be honest,
if
but
you had to pick one, like,
if I had to pick
let's
one,
say I had, like an American, like I had a gun and I put it up to your skull and
Right.
I said,
Oh.
if you do not pick a film, I will
Yeah, if you put a gun to my head, yeah, I mean...
blast give you a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you put a gun to my head and I have to
Do you-
answer,
Are you planning on seeing the new Red Hulk film?
no. I
If
have
there are a
not
bunch
watched
of-
a Marvel film in 3 years.
So there's a poster and they have cheeseburgers in it and guns where you go watch it.
No.
Okay, that's weird.
Well, okay.
Interesting.
If there's a
me
poster
thinks- me-
for an upcoming British film with tea and crumpets on it, are you going to go watch it?
Yeah,
Of course.
I'll watch that. Yeah,
Interesting.
sounds good. It sounds like a good movie.
Brilliant.
I
I
see.
quite like that.
Yeah.
I see.
Methinks that you, as an American, you love things like Captain America. So, are you willing to say that Captain America is your favorite American
The Captain America movies are
character?
good, but I think personally my favorite Marvel movie is probably
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando is an
Avengers?
actor, not a movie.
The Avengers.
No, the original Avengers not so much. I mean, it's a perfectly fine movie. It's just,
Right.
I guess my favorite Marvel movie would probably have to be like
Batman?
Doctor Strange. Batman is from DC. Either probably like Doctor Strange or maybe Captain America.
I'm sorry, who's DC?
DC is a different comic company. They make
That's
different
not
Yeah,
characters.
they made the Jetsons leave, if you remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
George Jetson? Hey,
Yeah.
George Jetson?
No, the Jetsons was Hanna-Barbera. That was a
Right, but besides that, so
And
you
how
like
about-
Doctor Strange?
Who's Anna Barbera?
No, it's not important right now. I'll tell you later. You like Doctor
Strange
Strange, and of course Captain America.
Yeah.
Well,
He's American.
Classic.
it's a perfectly fine movie. Yeah.
If I've had a laugh, and I was thinking to myself while I was looking at these use tubes,
Right.
there's this sort of American supervillain called Mayor McCheese, and
Okay, that's a McDonald's advertising character.
Well,
That's not. He's
listen.
not really in
Oh,
anything.
wait, no, this brings me to another question. Have they gotten the Hamburglar yet? Have they gotten him? Like the police? in
He's not a
America?
real criminal.
well, have a listen. Mayor McCheese, he's a literal cheeseburger.
He's a big cheeseburger, yeah.
You've got,
Yeah.
like, he's quite famous. in
Well,
America,
yeah, but
isn't he?
he's a fictional character. He's
if
he's an advertising character for McDonald's, the company.
Well,
Right.
connected to Marvel.
No,
Yeah.
they're not
Wait, so
connected at
Mayor
all.
McCheese is still at large? Sorry, I mean the Hamburglar.
The Hamburger is not a real person.
No, he is.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
because he got
Well,
such
the
a
people he
big
killed.
hamburger.
No, he's not a real person.
Yeah, Ted Kaczynski, the Hamburglar.
No, that was the Unabomber.
Who's the Unabomber?
I don't know.
He sent bombs in
To unicorns.
in packages
No,
and letters to people.
I think there's like translation error.
No, there's no
Yeah,
translation
maybe.
error. This is
Like,
we're speaking the same
Ted
language.
Kaczynski,
So,
he
Ted Kaczynski is the
sent
Unabomber.
out letters and he's like, I'm the Hamburglar.
No, he said I'm the he
So have-
very notably said I am the Unabomber.
have you gotten your hamburger stolen ever before?
I-
That must have been a harrowing experience for you.
No, I have. Are you serious right now?
Yes, yeah.
Well, over
Just because I'm an American doesn't mean that I have like hamburgers being stolen every day.
Well, this is how I see it, right?
Like, I
In
see-
England, we drink tea and we eat crumpets.
Yeah, but that's
and we eat beans
that's a
on toast
stereotype. That's not
every
something.
day.
That's a
I don't know what
stereotype.
that
That's not. You
Listen.
don't know what a stereotype
No,
is.
but listen here, right? Listen. In England, in the UK,
Yeah.
I wake up every morning. I eat beans on toast. I drink tea. I eat a crumpet. Every
Okay,
every British person does that.
No,
Everyone.
not every British person does
Yes,
that.
they
First of
do.
all, are you English, mate?
Are you English?
Are you American?
No.
So how do you know that every American eats
Well,
hamburgers?
if
watch
every
American
British
movies.
if every British person eats
I watch
tea,
British movies, so I know that every British person does not do that.
no, but if every
yeah.
English person drinks tea
How
and
do you
crumpets, every American must eat cheeseburgers.
No, that's not how
But
it
why
works.
would people say that?
This
if it wasn't
morning,
true?
I saw a British person in the airport lounge eating a croissant.
Well, they eat different things, but every day you wake up. Everybody wakes up at the same time, 6 a.m., and we all simultaneously
That's
drink
quite
tea,
interesting, considering that I
eat a biscuit.
that I was not immediately woken up at 6 a.m.
Well, you don't have to. You're American.
Yeah, exactly. The Queen.
Okay. So when do you think we all wake up?
I don't know, 10 p.m. maybe.
None of us wake up at 10 p.m.
Okay, interesting. So Captain America,
All of us wake up at different times.
Captain America is like he's racist and
He's not
sexist
racist.
and
He's very
xenophobic,
notably not racist.
and he hates the poor people.
hang about.
Why do you?
Hang about.
Yeah.
Isn't Captain America from like the 1910s?
No, well,
Wouldn't he be, wouldn't he say all kinds of nasty things?
not
about
everybody in the 1910s
minorities?
was racist.
Right.
But
Certainly, a
thing.
lot of people were, but not everybody
So,
who was born in the
reckon
1910s was
this.
racist.
Do you think that the American dream that Captain America represents is dead?
Wow. I mean, I think you have to consider a lot of things for that. I mean, economic,
All right.
social,
Now, new
political.
question. Do you think that the Hulk eating Loki scene is the best scene in Marvel
I'm sorry?
history? At the end of the Avengers, right? Before after Scarlett Johansson comes on set.
She doesn't come on set at any point.
Well, she's in the film. She must come at set on
Well,
Well, yeah,
on
but
one
she
point,
doesn't
right?
like outside of her character. She doesn't come
Well,
on
no,
set.
she's directing the movie. It's
She
really
does not
weird.
direct the movie.
Listen, we've been through this with. I had to tell Aaron this, right?
I didn't know.
Not
I-
telling porkies, not lying.
I am not lying. I
She
am
comes on
American,
set-
and I
No, I'm saying I'm not lying, right? She comes on set just to check something,
you know
and right
what-
before that, the Hulk eats. Or after that, sorry, the Hulk eats Loki's head.
that is not a scene.
And that's how the movie
You know
ends.
what
No,
it
it's
is?
not.
You know how in the United States they have Transformers
Yeah,
and they've got Optimus Prime and Bumblebee,
right.
Mm-hmm.
but like they don't have Megatron because he's too.
We do have Megatron. He was in
No,
the.
no, have a listen. They banned sort of evil characters.
They didn't
Like
ban
that.
evil
You
characters.
remember Wacky Racers?
Yeah,
Remember the evil guy?
yeah, Dick Dastardly. Yeah.
They don't even.
Dick
have him.
Dastardly is absolutely in an American.
So in
They don't have. Wait,
in
have a listen.
Scooby-Doo, right?
Have a listen. They don't have them in America because it's too.
It's too.
Okay.
Oh, right.
So I'm reckoning to think. Hang on, hang on.
I think you're
Hang
getting.
on,
I
hang
think.
on, hang on.
I think you're getting something wrong here. We don't
So when-
ban villains in movies.
If you're watching Scooby-Doo, right?
We don't ban villains in
Yeah,
movies.
but if you're watching Scooby-Doo,
You're,
there's just
you're getting
there's nothing.
information from
Like, there's
other
no
places,
sort
I
of
think.
ghost or ghoul or anything.
No,
that
there
they're
is.
chasing.
That is, I have seen several Scooby-Doo episodes
Well,
on American TV with that exact
Surely,
plot.
like
Right.
the pirated version.
No, they're on American
Canada
TV.
or something.
No, they're on American TV while I am in the United States of America.
So Captain America, right? Is this? We don't like him very much. We wish he was British.
Yeah.
And-
Why would he be British?
Because it'd be better if he was British.
I
And
guess, okay.
you know,
When I land down, grab a cuppa and
yeah.
I mean, they have a Captain Britain in the.
I know, and
the
it's so
fake-
much better.
Nah, that's not really.
That's debatable, but we won't get into that. Something I think is interesting about Marvel. There's no British characters.
yeah.
Yeah, there are.
Name one British character.
Um.
Oh, wait.
It's taking more than 10 seconds, mate. I think that's pretty.
Well, I mean, for one thing, I haven't watched many of the
think
Marvel
this
movies
is
in quite a while.
completion.
But I mean, Loki has a British accent.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but he's from, Godland or whatever.
Right.
He's from like. Was he from Finland?
Yeah, he's from Finland.
No, he's from.
Finland.
He's
like-
from a mythical place.
He's like Greek or something. Some
He's
kind
not
of
Greek.
Greek god, I think.
Anyway, there are absolutely British characters in Marvel.
Like who?
Vision. I mean, Vision is.
But he's a robot.
He's red.
They're no red British people.
Well, then Peggy Carter, the person who's
But she's dead.
But she was still a character.
Right, but I'm saying there's no
He's not
current.
alive.
There's no
Yeah.
current British characters.
Wouldn't it be cool
Okay.
if the Hulk came down and he's like, "Oh, knackered!"
Yeah, instead I don't imagine this. Instead of the Hulk being green, he's the pattern of the English flag.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be amazing?
that would be brilliant.
I'm sure you could make that, but
But think
I-
about this
No.
too. Think about this. Tom Holland, he's British. In the
Yeah.
movie, he's American.
Switch accents.
yeah, actors do that all the time.
Benedict Cumberbatch is
Benedict Cumberbatch.
is English in real life, but a stinky American in the movie.
Same
Right.
like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood is American. No, he's American.
No, he's from Gloucester.
He's
Tony. He's British in real life.
Are you
No, Clint
playing with
Eastwood.
me
No,
right
he's
now?
not British.
No, he is.
No.
Is he playing with me right now?
No, he's not telling me. No, he's got some ideas. He's a bit of a pit. Like I said
He
before,
has
he's a bit of a
some
pinhead.
interesting ideas.
Listen, the point is, it's just that it just seems like Marvel. They hate British people.
I don't think they hate British people.
Actually, that's a bit racist, don't you?
No.
I get the impression that, they tell Tommy Olin, hey, you cannot do your stinky British accent.
Well, yeah, because his character is from Queens, New York.
Right, but what if he was British?
What if he was a
Well,
Londoner Spider-Man?
Well, he could be, but they're trying to adapt the original comic version of Spider-Man, who was from Queens, New York.
What if we had a switch up? What if we?
Well, think about this. What if
they're
he's
not
still
going
from?
to do a
What
switch
if
up.
he's
That
still
was-
from New York, but his parents and whatever, they're British,
Yeah.
and they raised him, so he speaks a
Exactly.
British accent. What's wrong with that?
That does happen sometimes, but most of in America, but most of the time when that happens, people take on the accent of the country they're in almost every time.
So, are you fixing to say that, like, Marlon Brando, that's not his real voice?
In what sense? Like in The Godfather?
Yeah, in The Godfather.
No, that he's acting. That's what an actor does. Are you sure that you know film? Are you sure this podcast is about film?
Yeah, I'm a what?
Okay.
I'm a film.
Don't get cross with us. Sorry if we've done anything to make you a bit mad, but
Sorry, sometimes in the UK we have this thing. It's called banter, and we go back and forth.
I know what banter is.
But sometimes we like to tickle each other's brains.
Yeah, we like to,
who can pick up on the smelly stuff, and that's just how it rolls.
I see.
So, are you familiar with the American artist
I'm just giving you-
David Blunt?
No.
really
Famous.
big He's very American looking.
He's
David-
quite large. I would say he's the epiphany of an American.
Yeah, I would say that's the first American I think of.
He
David
likes
Blunt.
cheeseburgers.
David Blunt.
Yeah.
He's not very well known.
No, Dave Blunt's.
He only gained popularity in 2024
Where are you getting this from?
He's been making music since he was about.
from an article.
Look at this, because he's been making music since he must have been about this years old.
I think that's edited
Well,
Well, why would you do that?
to to make a point or
So
to.
you
Do you
like
know how
Dave
editing
Blunt,
works?
right?
I don't, we have a Commodore 64. I mean that.
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
that,
Well.
that,
Okay.
that, that, that
I know.
computer-
You. I understand you don't.
That computer
I understand
is,
you don't get how editing works on other things, but for editing, you do it for multiple reasons. Like it's not just he's not actually a child in that. He just looks like a child because they
Dave
edited
Blunt,
the picture
he
that
wears
way.
a big purple shirt, right?
Yeah, but
Do you
he's.
think that's to evoke the Joker? You know the Joker.
I do know the Joker. I don't know what to evoke. I mean, he just kind of became popular on social media recently. He's
Right,
not
because
exactly a
he's
sort
such
of.
an American.
What did you think about the drama between him and Snoop Doggy?
I don't even know if
You know,
there's any
I think
drama.
of a good idea. They should make Dave Blunt Captain America.
They are not going to make Dave Blunt Captain America.
Well, think about
Are
this,
you
right?
saying
Have a
that?
think about this.
No.
He's big and fat, right?
Well, yeah,
Just
but
like most Americans are.
most Americans aren't big and fat.
So,
most-
that's not true.
I was going to say, when I read that you were an American, I almost got out my grandma's large chair that she used to use.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
quite large.
I feel
I
like
was
okay.
thinking-
So you think every American looks like that?
Well,
correct?
are you familiar with this? It's kind of like another indie film. It's called Wall-E.
Wall-E?
Yeah.
It's a
Wall-E.
famous Pixar film.
I
No,
guess
I've
in
never heard of
the UK less popular.
I am 100% sure this is also as popular in the UK.
Yeah,
Well, in Wally, you have these big fat people in chairs.
I saw a shirt with Wall-E
And then
on
I-
fucking Oxford Street today while I was walking.
I've never been to America, but if I could imagine it, I would think it just looks like that movie.
yeah.
No.
So you don't have a big... Yeah, because I was wondering... No, so you are Italian, because you're quite, thin,
No,
right?
I am American.
Well,
Okay.
Do you know Romeo and Julius?
Romeo and Juliet, the
Yeah.
play by the play by William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all. I think they're Roman or something.
No, they're
They're
Italian.
like thin, sort of sprightly. Like
No, they're just
I'm
Italian.
Italian.
Oh, yeah.
I like you. they say things like that. You know.
No, they don't say anything like that. Have you ever read Romeo and Juliet?
Farley's done it for us before.
Yeah.
He played all the parts.
I think he might have done it in a very different interpretation.
Well, no, he knew William Shakespeare.
Actually, you saw Romeo and
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet's quite a favourite film of mine.
That is a animated interpretation of it, I
But it's
guess.
very good. Have you seen it?
Have you seen?
I have.
And
It's not a very
You
particular.
know what I like about that film series? They made a British version, right? They made Romeo and Julietto, but
I'm getting
with
the sense that you just like anything that's
Sherlock.
British.
No, well, we're English, so we like.
We like British
English.
things. Do you like American things?
Some things, not
Okay,
every
okay.
American
I feel
thing.
like
Well,
we're
here's an
straying
interesting
away
point, is
from
that all of your favourite movies are American.
Yeah. Well,
So-
actually, no. Parasite is Korean.
What's that?
Does he
Korea,
know-
it's near Japan.
It's a different
Is it like
Asian
a-
country.
Okay, is it like China or something?
No, it's kind of near China though.
Is it like similar?
It's culturally, it's in the same sphere, but it does have a lot of cultural differences. Different
Right.
language, different history, different
Right.
customs.
Are you a weeaboo?
I am not.
Because it seems like 3 of your favourite movies
I like.
are about Asian people.
What is this?
That-
weeaboo thing.
It means people who like Japan, but you know, it could
Yeah,
extend,
but
I think,
only
to
one
more
of those
Asian
movies
culture.
is from Japan, and it's not a movie that's about anime or anything. It's about Godzilla.
I mean, yeah, but they like
And
Yeah.
it doesn't exactly only speak to Japanese people. It's supposed to be a non...
You know what? You got me on that one. I'll give you that one.
Right. Well, okay. What is this? What number 4 was it? Parasite.
Parasite.
Is that like a
Parasite,
Hispanic film?
No. Parasite is a Korean film.
Okay.
It's about class differences, and
right.
it's a very good examination of it and how it affects modern-day South Korea. It's a very good film.
I think I saw a clip of this where he's in a sort of bunker, and I was thinking to myself, was this like some kind of World War III sort of
No,
film?
no, have you seen the movie in full?
I've seen clips. Are you familiar with...
You should watch the movie in full, because it makes more sense why he's in the bunker.
Are you familiar with YouTube?
You know what YouTube is?
You,
So,
okay, so where...
We've just had a laugh.
Right.
He's a YouTuber.
But yeah, but he's never heard of YouTube.
What's he mean?
Can I
But he's
ask
on
something?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Where exactly do you view my videos on?
On YouTube.
Okay, and where exactly do you think I post them?
YouTube.
Okay, so why would I not know what YouTube is?
I'm just making sure. I don't know, mate. You know, just to clarify.
You know when
Okay.
you're looking for your phone, and you're saying, "Where's my phone?"
Yeah,
And
but
it's
I-
in your hand.
It's kind of hard to forget what YouTube is.
Well, I'm just making sure. So Parasite, right?
Parasite.
Sorry, you're right.
Are
Parasite.
you sure it's not like a Mexican? Do you know
No, it's-
Pancho
it's-
Villa and,
no,
like,
Pancho-
those guys.
He was not a film director. He was a Mexican revolutionary from the 1910s.
Yeah, same thing.
So
That's incredibly. Does your friend have a good grasp of like?
he's in his head.
Does he have like a good grasp of like how the world works?
well, I'm a bit of a bit.
Well, he's a bit of a pinhead, but you know.
I understand, but I mean, does he thinks that
yeah.
a film director and a Mexican revolutionary who fought in a war
Right.
are the same type of person?
Well, they could be the same person.
I mean,
No,
when
they-
you
they-
think
they-
of
they actually
fake-
couldn't be.
Have a
Let
think.
Chaz out.
Have a think. Have you ever thought about how famous actors that have sort of like an A or an O at the end? Marlon Brando,
That means
John
nothing. That's just
Candy.
their last name.
like
That's just an utterly that means nothing.
Pancho Villa, that sounds sort of like famous actor.
Not really. Are you?
Stop playing my
Sorry,
silly
1 second.
monstros.
Keep talking.
I came all the way here, and you're just.
Well,
All right, we're getting a bit off topic. So, what was your favourite scene in Parasite?
Probably the ending scene, or one of the ending scenes where
What was the think about that? Are you having a laugh?
Sorry, I'm sorry. 1 second.
All right, this is just I came out here to
Roger,
talk to you guys,
Roger,
and
All right, you know what? I apologise. I
This
apologise.
is Vincense. This
You're
guy
right.
is
I'm
a
disrespecting your time. I'm a
stick-ball
big fan.
truck chaser.
You know, let's ask some questions about you. All right. What do you have planned next? What's the next big thing for the Vincense channel?
well, I told the people who ultimately got me to 100,000 subscribers
Yeah.
that in the bet that originally that I made with them that I would make a new video
Right.
in the style of my old ones.
Stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, but after that, we'll see. I could continue with it. I probably won't as of now, but
Really?
we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. This isn't my job or anything.
So for this new video, are you trying to get, Martin Scorsese or
No.
Joe Pesci or?
Well, who are you going to cast?
Probably just me and my friends, like I did in my old videos.
Really? Not even with the newfound, buzz, as we like to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm not
100,000.
really.
Do you think you could get Mr. Beast on there? You know Mr.
No,
I think-
especially considering the whole point of the bet was it's in the style of my old videos, and my old videos didn't have Mr. Beast or Marlon Brando.
Here's another question.
Have you ever? Okay, let's put it like this: if you could, let's say you were a milli-billionaire, right? A milli-trillionaire. Would you say, you could get any actor in the world? Would you remake one of your old videos with Joe Pesci, Jack Nicholson?
No.
Really?
They're not very good videos. I mean, and
But you can make them better, no?
I could, but they're not. They're
Is
not.
there any possibility of them being extended into a feature-length?
Yeah, I was about to say.
They're nothing especially important to me.
But
So
slightly different question. If you could choose one of your videos to make into a feature-length film,
that's
Which
starring
would I?
Joe Pesci, Marlon Brando, yes, which would you? Robert De Niro.
you really like Joe Pesci and
He's
Marlon
in a lot of
Brando.
movies. So
I don't know if you've seen many movies that
I've
he's
seen
in.
a lot of movies. Yeah. Home Alone.
He's not in Home Alone.
He is. Yeah.
Pesci's in Home Alone.
Home Alone is an American movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Pesci's American.
That doesn't mean he's in
Joe
Home
Pesci
Alone.
is in Home Alone.
No, he's not. Oh shit, he is. He's
He is.
He's the robber.
He's the
He's the cop as
slimy
well.
robber or
That's-
something.
So that movie's quite deep. If I had to do a top,
Yeah.
36
Okay, what
movies,
other movies do you think Joe Pesci is? I think I need to make this point with a different movie.
Of our word from my friend Jared Donkey over there in the United States, and he was having a laugh, but
He's in
I think he
Goodfellas.
might be serious.
He is in Goodfellas. He's one of the main
Do you
people in the movie.
know Mario? You familiar?
You asked this question already.
I'm not sure. See, my memory's quite, naff, right? So when I meet other people, I'm tended. I have a preconception that their memory might be a bit rubbish.
It's
as
a bit
well.
of a, it's a pinhead, probably.
So, I've heard that Mario, they're going to make a movie, and the Bob-omb, Joe Pesci's kind of like a little, like a little
Joe Pesci-
angry guy, and they. Are you familiar with Bob-omb?
Bob-omb.
Yeah, different pronunciation.
Yeah. It's the language difference.
There was a word going around Hollywood that he would be playing Bob-omb.
When?
I think.
About a year or two ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about that. No.
All right. So next question. There's a fellow. His name is P Mac, and he made a very interesting video about you, about your association with Inland Media.
Yeah, all this drama.
There's a bit of drama, ziggity zoggity.
reminded
that
me of
was-
the argument between Princess Diana and Bob Hoskins back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was very overblown.
But what's the truth? What is it? Everybody's
What-
clamoring and clamoring for
Well,
the
the
truth.
truth is, it was just something that me and my friends ended up making.
Right.
What are you on about?
Well, Inland Media is that's us. I mean, it's
So,
you
Joe, you mean like
Are you Greg Johnson?
no, but one of my friends is.
you
that's
know?
like
Oh, you're
almost
friends
as-
with Greg Johnson.
No, one of my friends is his persona almost is Greg Johnson.
What? Are you having a laugh?
No,
But we're signed with Greg Johnson.
Before this call, I was having a chat with Greg Johnson, like on the telly.
I see.
You know, like, do they have that?
Yeah, they do.
We have telephones.
Okay, yeah. You know, like, I was chatting with him. He's
Right.
like American.
I see.
He's American. He's
said-
not British.
Like, if I can do my American voice, he's like, I tell that shit.
That's quite good.
He's gone over on the plane and he's gonna talk like, you know.
So who flew you out here, if not Greg Johnson?
Well, I flew myself out here. I mean, you asked me to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Greg Johnson, he called you and he was like, you got to go on that podcast, yeah?
I mean, you sort of just emailed me and I just accepted.
Yeah. But he paid for your ticket, right?
No, I paid for my own ticket.
Oh.
Really?
Well.
It's interesting.
Awkward.
Why don't you just ask Greg to pay for the ticket for you?
I mean, he's quite a rich fellow.
Mm-hmm.
You made that song.
But yeah.
Just for laughs.
Just for laughs.
It's a favourite of mine. Okay, we're a bit short on time.
Yeah.
So, final question. We're going to do this. We're each going to say one word, and that's going to make the final question. Ready? So, why?
Marlon.
Brando.
So.
You.
Are.
Yoshi.
Cool.
So, Marlon Brando, you are Yoshi cool.
Question mark.
I don't know if I can answer that one. That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
All right.
What? You know those things you drive, like you
A car.
A car, yeah. He has trouble remembering that word.
Like I said, my memory's a bit.
Naff.
I've been getting the impression.
In the UK, we have this car, right? It's called the Reliant Robin, right?
Reliant Robin.
Yeah.
Reliant Robin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got. Have you seen the film Cars 2?
I have not had the pleasure of seeing Cars 2.
Really?
There's quite a pleasant scene where they're in Italio, and
you're from there.
a car.
I'm not from Italy.
Okay.
Well, there's a car. And
Right,
you
to us, I
want to
guess.
know what?
Okay, yeah.
So when I was just a boy and I was watching this film,
Yeah.
his car had 3 wheels, and I was
Right.
like, "Well, that's not real, is it?" But it turns out, it's a Reliant Robin. It's a car that has 3 wheels.
Yeah, and little Willie's father died in a Reliant Robin.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the question?
I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah, we should
Oh.
know that.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But we don't
Actually,
really like him that much. So.
Do they have that in the US?
Do they have wheels? Have they gotten there yet?
Do we have wheels?
We're having a laugh.
We're having a laugh.
We're having a laugh.
Do you have your own little Willie at the theatre?
Like a little boy that wears a hat and he's like, "What ticket would you like, sir?"
No.
Really?
We have just people who work at the movie theaters.
Where are you based? Houston?
Around New York City.
New York City. You live in New York City.
Well,
you
around.
live-
I can't afford New York
I
City.
know Robert De Niro lives in New York.
Yeah.
He lives in Tribeca, yeah.
Have you seen Robert De Niro?
Never. Would love to meet him.
Have you seen Danny DeVito before?
I have met him once.
Really?
Really?
The Meeting of Titans.
His connections, they get far.
I quite like Mr. DeVito. He starred in Taxi.
Yeah, Taxi Man.
He was not in Taxi.
No, yeah. No, with Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
not in Taxi.
Can you pull this up?
Yeah,
Type
let me
in
look up,
Danny DeVito Taxi. Yeah, look. He's right there. Are you having a laugh?
I think you're telling more porkies than we are.
I feel like
I don't think Danny DeVito is in Taxi.
you just see.
He's right here!
He's right
He
there.
plays Louis De Palma.
He's right there. Are you?
Well, he is.
Are
Yeah.
you having a laugh?
Well, I haven't. For one thing, I haven't seen Taxi. I was not aware Danny DeVito acted in those types of movies. So
Yeah,
Well,
quite
yeah.
a violent film. I think what was that? Martin Scorsese,
Yeah, probably.
and
He directs most films, so,
I think who was the star in that? Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, Judge Purse.
I remember
Joe
I heard
Pesci.
there was something about like a.
Do you think Joe Pesci is in every movie?
So is Robert
Any
De Niro.
sort of film about New York City, I feel like he's got something to do with.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Godfather?
Yeah, he's in that.
He's in that.
No, he's not.
All right, Vincense, thank you for your time. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
It was definitely an experience to be.
We'll bring
to come
you
out here.
We'll bring you down to Joe's pub a little bit. Have you meet Farley and the
Have
rest
you
of
ever
them.
had black sausage?
Never.
You're gonna love it. It's Barking and Dagenham's prize food.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You okay, wait. Before we go, what is your most anticipated film of 2024?
That's a good question.
Well, 2024 ended.
Right, sorry, 2025.
I don't know. I guess the new Superman movie that's coming out. I can't really think of any other movies that
How
are
do
really
you
going to
think that will connect to the rest of the Marvel universe?
Well, that's a DC movie.
DC night. Justice League. Remember?
Right.
No, then-
sorry, Jetson. Any predictions?
Are
I don't
you
know. It looks like
excited?
they're gonna.
Who's playing Superman?
Probably like Robert Pattinson or something.
No, Robert Pattinson is not playing.
Yeah, maybe John Candy.
Bill Murray.
No, none of them are playing Superman.
Oh, Jim Carrey. Oh, is it Dream. I think it's Dream.
No, it's.
I could see Dream.
No,
as
it's David
Superman.
Cornsweet.
David Corn Sweat.
No, David Cornsweet.
Is he from Cornwall?
Does he sweat corn?
Is he British?
It's corn. Little pieces of corn kind of look like sweat, so I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
it's
sense.
interesting.
What,
Right.
what are your predictions for that? Just real quick. I want to hear the mind of Vincense.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
You know what?
I mean,
We'll do
it's-
one thing after this, and then we're done.
we don't really know much about the movie, but it does look like they're leading in towards more like a not like edgy Superman, like more like one that's kind of in line with the comics, where it's like like big moral code and everything, and very
Right.
like focused on like
so less like Robert Zemeckis, more like Zack Snyder kind of films.
less like Zack Snyder.
More like.
Well, why would you want to be less like Zack Snyder?
A lot of reasons.
All right, so here's the final question. If you, Vincense, had to pitch an original movie, what would the plot be? And who would be in it?
I think I would go with maybe an inlanded sequel.
Okay, interesting. It's a classic.
I love that film.
I think that-
De Niro.
But original movie.
Original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inland inspired, maybe. But
Yeah, I think maybe do a different take on the idea of inlanded, but maybe move it in a different direction.
When I saw that film, I had no idea like
That's the first
the Irish legal system was so like corrupt. Like,
yeah.
And the ending when Paddy McDaniel's whole family came out, and they were like crying and all that, and his grandma was there.
Yeah.
I had myself a couple waterworks coming down.
That's the first movie I ever watched and one I love film. It inspired me even.
Classic film.
Patsy
It was
McDaniels.
1989, right?
I believe so.
I think I was born in 19 something.
Probably. I don't know. Who else is in that movie again?
Robert Zemeckis.
No, but besides, who are the characters besides Patty McDaniels? Do you
His
remember?
grandma, the lawyer, I think Billy Umbarger.
What are the two Swedish names again?
Um,
I can't remember. Quite remember.
Hunter and Alix or something like that.
Right. Anyway, original Vincense film, straight from the fucked up mind of Vincense. What would you say?
Maybe a reimagining of Moving Along.
But that's not original though. Like
That is original.
No, but new plot, completely new,
Completely new.
never seen before.
I've always liked
Marlon Brando.
yes,
Discussion,
but
mate. He's American brain.
Sorry.
I've always liked sort of imagining like larger settings out of smaller sorts of areas. So maybe taking somewhere nearby and making like sort of expanding that into a larger setting and using the dynamics that are present there.
A movie about barking and Dagenham.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd watch that.
Quite like
I don't know. I have to see more Barking and Dagenham.
All right. So who?
would you get to?
Yeah, who do you get to act? All right, ready? The main. Well, he's directing it, right?
Okay, yeah.
Who plays the main character?
Um,
Robert De Niro, Scorsese.
maybe
Jack Nicholson.
I mean, I can't really think of. I will admit, I'm definitely not as much of a film head as you two seem to be.
Yeah.
But
I don't think anybody is.
We are film heads.
You're a big film
But
head.
I guess maybe Timothée Chalamet. I mean,
Okay.
he's been in a lot of good
I don't
stuff
know who that
recently.
is. He's French, right?
French,
No, he's
so-
actually American.
Can he speak American?
He speaks English and French.
I'm having to think that he sounds a bit French. And
Well,
does sound a bit
his
French.
parents. I believe one of his parents is
I'm
French.
going to give you a pass this time because you're obviously not familiar. But over in England, we don't really like those guys. Like,
So who plays the main female lead?
yeah, sexy woman, large.
Well, I would probably not go for something like that.
Please do not say Scarlett Johansson. We are sick of Scarlett Johansson.
I was not considering Scarlett
She's
Johansson.
been in too many Marvel movies.
So many sex scenes. I've never.
Too many.
Basically,
Too
a porn
many.
actress.
Maybe Ayo Edebiri.
I don't know who that is. That's a state, actually.
No,
Iowa.
that's not.
Iowa isn't a state.
Ayo Edebiri.
Io.
Her first name is A-Y-O.
Like the moon of Jupiter, Io.
No, her first name is A-Y-O, and her last name is E-D-I-B-I-R-I. I believe she's Nigerian descendant.
I'm not. Sorry, I don't. Can you translate into?
I did.
Like from American to English.
Ayo Edebiri. That's
You
just
know
how
we
you
did
say her
before,
name.
Like it was Jim Camel.
No, but that was...
Oh, she was in The Moose.
The Moose.
Yeah, The Moose. That show about
The Bear?
chefs. Yeah.
The Bear?
The Moose. Whatever. Regional differences, you know.
Ayo
Edamame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the main female lead. I assume they kiss or whatever. Who is the
Probably not.
cool, fat, like, sidekick comic relief guy?
I don't think I would have a character like that.
But you have to.
Who's the comic relief?
I guess if I have to...
Maybe like Seth Rogen.
No.
Not bad enough.
That's true.
I guess maybe
We're talking big American, you know,
Big,
spilling food on himself, really likes food.
I wouldn't do anything like that.
Okay.
Remember Adam Sandler's friend? What's his name?
Oh, Kevin James.
Kevin. Love that. bloke.
Do love Kevin James.
Or
Maybe Kevin James should be Captain America.
or Jack White.
Who the hell is Jack White?
He's in the new what's that game with the squares and the
Miney.
something like miners.
Oh yeah, yeah, Jack White.
Minecraft?
Yeah,
Jack
the
White. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You're a miner and you're playing with other miners in
Yeah,
like a mine.
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting
But they're
like
making a film about
stone.
it. For some reason, it's sort of an obscure game. I'm surprised.
Me
It's
too.
not obscure at all. It's one of the most popular
And you're
games in the world.
getting Jack White. He's an indie actor.
So it'll be quite cool.
Dropped me my vape pen on the ground there.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is the comic relief character?
I don't think I would really have one like you're describing. Probably spread out.
Like, if you want to make
Like, obviously, it would have the movie would have like it wouldn't just be all like serious or
And
anything.
there's going to
but
be
it,
like some sort of Marvel kind of witty, cool comebacks.
No, it would. I would probably steer clear of that. I don't really enjoy those that
say
much.
your mammy and your paps are watching this film and they want to have a laugh. Like, who would you put in to make them laugh?
Well, I don't think that they would be watching the film to have a laugh.
Why do you watch any film?
To enjoy the film,
Yeah, and how do you enjoy a film? Having a laugh.
you don't have to laugh to enjoy a film.
Every film has a funny moment.
Yeah.
Some of the yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would
Name
have
one
some
film that does not have a funny moment.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, there you go. You answered our question.
I wasn't.
You gotta calm down, Aaron. You're gonna break the flat.
Sorry, I'm having a laugh. I'm
So,
sorry.
what's our landlord's name again? Daniel or something? David?
Donald.
Donald
T.
Yeah, Donald T. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend Donald T.
Yeah, but I mean, I would probably just spread the humor. I mean, I like I said, I don't think
But
I would
who's
have.
like the main funny guy? Has the most jokes?
I don't think that there would be a main funny
So
guy.
everybody's big
Who-
gruff. Aaron,
okay,
Aaron,
here's a
answer
better
this.
question.
No, there
Who
would.
would be the token, like, ethnic sort of one?
The main female lead is black.
Right.
Okay, so
But,
she like
that's besides the point. Like, who's the token?
I wouldn't have a token ethnic character.
All right. You know what? I'd be excited to see the. Okay. Final question. What would the soundtrack of this movie be? Maybe Benny and the Jets by
No.
the Beatles.
I actually don't really like Elton John that much. So.
Gentleman by Elton John.
No.
Well, Elton John, he's a fictional character, but
I mean, it's in. Have you seen the movie Rocket Man?
Yeah, it's a biography of Elton John. Fictionalized.
but you know they were going to make it about Buzz Lightyear first,
Really?
and then Rocket Man, yeah,
That makes sense.
Buzz
and then they
Lightyear-
changed it to Elton John,
Buzz
an
Lightyear's
original
on a-
character.
Right, sort of
Do you
invented.
think Buzz Lightyear is a real person?
Well, no, but
Elton John is a real person, and they were never going to make Rocket Man about Buzz Lightyear.
well, Vincense, thank you for coming on the show.
Translation error.
We're big fans, and we're excited
really,
to see
it
what
was
comes next.
A pleasure to see your face. It's
nice to meet you.
I hope you can have some barley water while you're here.
Maybe some black sausage,
Yeah.
maybe a pint and a half.
Maybe a wheel of cheese. Did you know in the UK we have this competition where people stand up on a hill and they roll down it,
Yeah.
and whoever doesn't die wins?
I didn't know that.
You know that we have stronger skulls because we've hit sheep with our heads a million times.
Did you know Ran tried to challenge any creature in like a sort of ram off, and like we'd usually win?
I didn't know any of
Do
those
you know
things.
Boris Johnson? Probably not.
All right. Well, I think we should probably be going now. No.
Are you meeting with Keir's, what's his name? Stammer?
No, I'm not meeting with the British Prime Minister.
All right, so we'll bring you down to the pub. Have a drink, have a pint, have a bottle of water.
We'll talk about we'll ask Joe to put on like Godfather everywhere or whatever.
Yeah, all the Godfathers everywhere, whatever.
All the
And,
Godfathers everywhere.
So thank you for watching this episode, everybody. I hope you check out all of our other episodes.
Yeah.
Have a pint, grab a drop of barley
Grab
water.
a tall glass of orange juice if you're from the United S.
Right. Grab some black sausages, and if you're from the US of A, maybe some eggs,
Maybe some bacon and a big cheeseburger.
maybe a beer can as
And,
well.
like, some fries and a lobster that's bright red and like a big glass of Coca-Cola
Yeah.
with ice cubes falling in it and like
And maybe sit next to a big, buffalo and have a watch, have a
a
listen.
Native American bloke.
Yeah,
Like an Indian
yeah.
guy.
And then another guy who has a cowboy hat on.
Yeah. And there's like a train in the background and like
Yeah, it's going through.
muscle car and like a like a couple planes and some eagles.
Your guns are on the wall.
Tom Cruise is there and
There's pizza, I think.
Billy Crystal.
Maybe Dean Winchester, whatever his name is.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro's there. He's like,
The bald,
I'm Robert De Niro.
the bald guy. I don't know his name.
Marlon Brando.
No, the other one.
Billy Crystal.
No, the other one.
Joe Pesci.
No, the other one.
Who are you talking about? Oh, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Williams.
I love Bruce Willis.
All right, everybody. Goodbye. Have a good day. We will see you.
Adios, as they say.
Goodbye, our lovely audience
In
in España.
yeah, Spinny.
Goodbye.